China is one of the largest and most talked about countries in the world, but most people only have one idea of what it's like. And once you actually see it, you realize how different it is depending on where you go. Because China isn't just one experience, it's a collection of experiences that often contradict each other. What you see in one region can be completely unrecognizable in another, and that's what makes it so unexpected. From ancient history, to futuristic cities, to natural landscapes that don't feel real, China is full of contrasts, and most people only see a small part of it. They see what's popular, what's on postcards, what's in travel guides. But beyond that surface level, there's so much more. Different climates, different cultures, different ways of living, all within the same borders. If you're into discovering places beyond the typical version, make sure you're subscribed. We explore destinations a little differently here. Beijing. Start with Beijing, a city where history is everywhere. The Forbidden City, Tiananmen Square, the Great Wall just outside the city. These are places people recognize instantly. Structures that have stood for centuries. Monuments that represent thousands of years of civilization. Walking through the Forbidden City, you're stepping into Imperial China. The scale of it is massive. The detail is incredible. It's one of those places where you feel the weight of history around you. But here's what surprises people. Beijing isn't just historical, it's modern too. Busy streets, new developments, constant movement, skyscrapers right next to ancient architecture, high-speed trains running beneath centuries-old temples, tech hubs, business districts, innovation happening at a rapid pace. It's a city that exists in multiple time periods at once, and that contrast is something you notice immediately. Beijing shows you that China isn't stuck in the past. It's building the future while preserving what came before. But Beijing is just one side of China, Shanghai. Then there's Shanghai, completely different. Modern skyline, high-rise buildings, bright lights, the Bund overlooking the river, futuristic architecture everywhere. Shanghai feels like stepping into a different country entirely. Where Beijing holds on to tradition, Shanghai pushes forward. It's sleek, it's global, it's constantly evolving. The Pudong skyline at night is something you have to see to believe. Buildings lit up in every color, reflecting off the water, creating a scene that feels almost cinematic. It feels more like a global financial city. Fast-paced, highly developed, streets filled with international brands, restaurants from every culture. A mix of languages, a mix of influences. This is modern China at its most visible. And very different from Beijing. Where Beijing balances old and new, Shanghai is almost entirely focused on the future. The energy here is different. The pace is faster. People move with purpose. Everything feels like it's in motion. And that sense of forward momentum is what defines Shanghai. But China isn't just cities. Zhangjiajie, main highlight. Then you move into nature. Zhangjiajie. Massive stone pillars rising out of the ground, covered in mist. This is what inspired landscapes in movies like Avatar. It doesn't feel real. The pillars stretch hundreds of meters into the sky. Some are so tall and narrow they seem impossible, like they're defying gravity. The way mist moves through the valleys creates an almost dreamlike atmosphere. You can spend hours just watching the landscape shift as the fog rolls in and out. Walking through this area, you feel like you're in a completely different world. The paths wind between these stone formations. Some sections have glass walkways built into the cliffs. Looking down, you see nothing but open air and forest below. It's both exhilarating and humbling. This is one of the most unexpected parts of China. Most people don't associate China with this kind of natural wonder. They think of cities. They think of history. But Zhangjiajie proves that China's natural landscapes are just as dramatic as anything human-made. The national park covers a massive area, and every section offers something different. Waterfalls, caves, dense forests, wildlife that you won't see anywhere else. It's the kind of place that stays with you long after you leave. Quick question. Would you rather explore the big cities or places like this in nature? Let me know in the comments. And then there's another side of China that feels completely different again. Guilin River, Guilin. Famous for its landscapes, limestone mountains, rivers, open space. A boat ride along the Li River shows views that look almost unreal. Calm, quiet. Very different from the cities. The karst mountains rise gently from the water, each one shaped differently by centuries of erosion. Some are covered in vegetation, others are bare rock. The reflections on the water make everything look doubled, like you're floating through a painting. This is where China's natural beauty becomes poetic. There's a rhythm to the landscape here, a gentleness that contrasts with the dramatic peaks of Zhangjiajie. Farmers work in rice paddies along the riverbanks. Water buffalo graze in the fields. Small villages sit tucked into the hillsides. It feels timeless, like this is how the land has looked for generations, and in many ways it has. The Li River has been inspiring artists and poets for centuries, and once you see it, you understand why. It's not just beautiful, it's peaceful. A kind of beauty that doesn't demand your attention. It just exists, quietly, powerfully. And then there's something that connects all of these places, food and culture. The food. China's food culture is huge. Different regions have completely different styles. Street food, local dishes, markets. Food is part of everyday life, and it changes depending on where you are. In Beijing, you'll find roasted duck and savory pancakes. In Shanghai, soup dumplings and sweet-flavored dishes. In Sichuan, everything comes with heat and spice. In Guangdong, dim sum and lighter, fresher flavors. Each region has its own ingredients, its own techniques, its own identity. Food isn't just about eating in China, it's about culture, about community, about history. Street markets are filled with vendors cooking fresh food right in front of you. Steaming buns, grilled skewers, noodles pulled by hand. The energy in these markets is infectious. People gathering, sharing meals, talking. Food brings people together here in a way that feels deeply rooted. And no matter where you go in China, food is a constant. It's how you experience the place, how you connect with it. So what is China really? It's not just one thing. It's contrast. Ancient history, modern cities, natural landscapes, all in one country, and most people only experience a small part of it. They visit one city, they see one landmark, and they think they've seen China. But China is too vast for that, too diverse, too layered. Every region tells a different story. Every city has a different energy. Every landscape offers a different perspective. That's why China isn't just what you expect. It's more than that. It's more complex, more varied, more surprising. It challenges assumptions. It breaks stereotypes. It shows you that a single country can contain multitudes. And once you start exploring it, you realize just how much there is to discover. If you enjoy exploring places like this in a different way, make sure to subscribe. There's a lot more coming. And let me know in the comments. What part of China would you want to experience most? The history, the modern cities, the natural wonders, or maybe the food? Let me know. I'd love to hear what draws you in.